subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Cyber Regina, hop on, beloved.
Good morning, Tariq. I'm sorry I've been missing for a couple of weeks. As you know, I had my brother died, then my aunt died, and I had another aunt die. We buried her Wednesday, so it's been back to back to back.
Oh, wow. Well, condolences to your family, dear.
Thank you, thank you. But I wanted to address what this Somalian came in here and said. They're just unbelievable. As you know, I was stationed out there in Africa, so Somalians are the most hated people in Africa. Nobody wants them in their country. But President Obama, put them in here, and I think there's something like 80,000 in Minnesota.
Yeah.
A bunch of them were arrested during COVID for fraud.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then a bunch of them went to fight for ISIS. So I don't know what this guy is talking about. And as far as the Nigerians, I'll tell you a story about the Nigerians. The Nigerian plane got stuck in Djibouti. The Djiboutians would not let them off the plane. They kept them sequestered in the airport for like 5 days.
Damn.
Wouldn't let them airport. It was just unbelievable. And I had to fly out there, and you saw all these people, and the smell of the airport for that. These are two of the people that most of Africa, the continent of Africa, doesn't want them in their country. And that's a fact. But more importantly, I just want to say that I am so impressed by our people, the discipline that we are exhorting in terms of resting and being on vacation and keeping our mouths shut and watching a show with our popcorn. Because this is not a fight. This is not our fight. And what I would say for us to do is to go take time right now and go do the research on your families.
Yeah.
I would recommend Ancestry, not for the makeup they're going to give you in terms of telling you, what your background is, but you will be able, I promise you will be able to find that your family has been here for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Mhm.
You won't find I can't find one African.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't find one African in my lineage. And it goes all the way back in this country to the beginning, to 1200, and then it goes up through Europe.
Mhm.
But they have the names because we were always documented. And then I was I don't know if I told you this before, I was in a genealogical space with people in Scotland, and they said they can't even find their people. The white Americans here can't even go back as far as we can because
Right.
they only documented the nobles in these countries in Europe. They only documented the nobles, and we're connected to the nobles. So maybe that's where the jealousy comes from the Africans, that they know we come from the royal class here in the United States, from the indigenous, because they were the royal class here on this continent,
Mm-hmm.
and connected to the royal class in Europe, which we don't acknowledge, but who they want to be.
Right.
We know they're not, which is, silly. They should build their own. They have a beautiful continent, but they won't build it.
Okay.
They won't build it. And there's another thing that I want to talk to you too. I bought what is that? Hebrews to Negroes 3 came out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like they got to him somehow, because he's going back and talking about this back to Africa stuff. Why is everybody trying to get us out of our own continent? We've been trying for hundreds of years.
Right.
And you need to look at that. Why because they can't take this continent while we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said before, we've fought in every war. We don't flee. We stand 10 toes down on our land, and we fight right here. And that bothers people. And we need to be proud of a country that we have. This is our country. We have built we built this country. We have most of the inventions. These people that came here were peasants. They're peasants.
Mm-hmm.
You come from royal class in this country, and they know it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Cyber Regina, the lovely Cyber Regina, always bringing truth to power. Let's get Chuka Facts in the building.
Yo, what's good, Tariq, man? Loving your show.
Thank you, brother.
I wanted to agree and then also disagree with some stuff. With the whole Nigeria thing, I am also a Nigerian, born and raised in America,
Okay.
Houston, Texas. Nigeria, there's a lot of bad things happening, but there's also some good things happening. So I don't want to make it seem like it's just all a bad story, or everybody in Africa hates us. I mean, I don't. We're not perfect, but I wouldn't make it to where it's like all horrible, you
Okay.
know? So that's just kind of what I want to push back on. But yeah, there's a lot of corruption and tribalism and stuff like that that's happening. That's probably the only thing I would kind of push back on a little bit. But
But
let
okay.
me tell you something, man. Everything else you're saying is spot on.
Yeah.
We are born, like me, I'm born and raised in America. My mind's focused on Nigeria. That Somalian man that came up here, Somalia, let me tell you something. Are they even really a country right now?
Mm,
If I was a Somalian born and raised in America, Canada, the UK, I would not even have my mouth open to talk shit about nobody else. I'll be focused on advocating for the issues in Somalia, making sure you actually have a government, making sure you guys don't get absorbed by Somaliland. And that goes for if you're from Ghana, if you're from the Caribbean. You know, one thing you really got a lot of Black Americans have to watch out for. There are a lot of us who are born and raised in America who honestly hate our lineage. It's disgusting. They hate the fact that they're from Nigeria or they're from, Jamaica or Haiti or whatever. And they honestly want their offspring to identify as Black American. That's why they fight so hard,
yeah.
and it's just something that really pisses me off. Like, we come from a great continent. Is it perfect? No. Do we got a lot of stuff we got to fix? Of course, man. But if we're all just trying to leave and trying to come to America, whatever, we're trying to, just not focus on nothing, like not focus on our homeland. Who's going to be there? So we're all going to leave Africa, but then we're going to complain that the Chinese are taking it over. That seems contradictory. Some of us have to actually go back or at least visit and try to help our continent come up, or it's always going to be a shithole. And people gonna always talk about how it smells in our airports, and people gonna always talk about how we don't have enough running water or nothing working out there. We're not Black Americans. We're not. And I'm saying this as somebody born and raised in America. I am not a Black American. They have their own very proud, very strong lineage, and we need to respect it. How can we be talking shit about Black Americans, but we ain't got our shit together? A
Hmm.
whole country that's ours, and I want to just end with saying this, man. I would not be in this country, and a lot of us, if we being real, we wouldn't be in this country if it wasn't for Black Americans. My own father got admission into Alabama State, Alabama A&M
Yeah.
when he was in Nigeria. And the only reason they gave him a visa to even come over here in the 70s is because of that admission letter. Black HBCUs were coming to Nigeria recruiting Africans and helping them get admission letters so that they can come to America, and
Absolutely.
helping them to get housing and helping them do all that kind of stuff. And there was a lot of Black American sisters back then that was marrying Africans and helping them get their green card too. But I'm not going to speak too much about that. So
Big thing
it's the
back.
truth, man. There's so much. I could keep on going. I'm an engineer. I was a part of an organization called the National Society of Black Engineers, an African American organization started to help promoting engineering. I would have not gotten my jobs if it wasn't for Black Americans. And a lot of Nigerians are in the same case. So we need to stop all this bullshit we doing and focus on our home countries, man. And keep on putting that thought on our neck, man, for real. Like, we all need to hold our own nutsack, man. We all need to focus on our own shit, man, for real. Because that's how we're all going to get better. If we're all trying to come to America and reach out for all the benefits that should go to African Americans, when are we going to actually use those benefits that we're getting and bring it back to our homeland and build that up, you
Hmm.
know?
Yes,
So,
sir.
that's what I wanted to say, man.
Man, man, real good talk. Much again, that's respectful. My man's keeping it a bean. That's what you do, man. Just give props where props are due. Just keep it a buck, man. That's all we say. because we've done nothing but help people. So my man, he kept it a being. Hey man, we were able to get these programs because y'all were coming over here helping us, man. Y'all were putting together admissions letters. Y'all were opening up trades. Y'all were opening up organizations that we can um, benefit from that'll get us over there to work and go to school. So yeah, just keep it a buck, which is what we've been saying. That's the reason why I had a problem with so many of these foreigners talking greasy, because cats get over here after we done helped them and then try to be on some, yeah, yeah, I came over with $2, nigga. Why you're not doing better than me? Oh, well, hold on now. Oh, I gotta see. That's why I had a problem, because that's disrespectful to my damn ancestors. That's disrespectful to my lineage. No, my people sat up here helping folks bring their asses over here. My folks were up here in these black churches here in the South. I'm in Alabama right now. With some of these folks down here putting their pennies together so they could house some of these foreigners coming from Africa and the Caribbean, and let them stay over here with them while they went to school and got it together. We were doing that. We were putting those programs together. We were fighting so that cats can come over here. So yeah, any form of disrespect, that's not, no, 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 no. No, I have to speak up for my ancestors, because yeah, that ancestral spirit, that's not gonna fare well with me. See, I'm all about ancestral spirits. Letting your ancestors be disrespected, that's a bad look on you. See, we have to honor our ancestors. I'm real big on honoring them. And part of honoring them is really knowing all the things that they've done. A lot of folks just don't know. A lot of people just don't know all the phenomenal things our foundational Black American ancestors were doing. Why? Because the history has always been taught to us by saying, hey, focus on what's happening in Africa. We've always been told, look into African history. And I'm like, no, no, no. We can look into that, but let's not overlook all the phenomenal things we were doing here. We had shit popping over here. We did a phenomenal job with creating things, culture, activism, just so many things over here. So it's respectful to the ancestors to give them props and praise on what they've done and accomplished here. And we don't let nobody else disrespect them. We got to have more respect for our ancestors to allow that to happen. Uwap, that's good. Uwap, Uwap, you ready to hop on, brother? All right, well, we're waiting on Uwap. Again, I got to give props to the homie who called up, and he said something to the effect that a lot of people who come over here, a lot of them are actually ashamed of their homelands, which is true. They are, and a lot of them want their offspring to identify as FBAs. You see, because see, a lot of these people, they don't like the fact that they can be deported. They hate that fact. So they try to get people to blend in with us as much as possible. And another reason, they recognize that foundational Black American culture is more respected globally. The foundational Black Americans, we created the most influential Black culture in the world, just from the music to the athleticism to the civil rights movements to the inventions. We have. So a lot of these cats come over and they feel like their home countries don't carry that same global impact. You understand? This is why they call up here talking about you niggas think you're superior to us. You act like you're superior. We always hear that. You notice that? We always hear them accusing us of acting like we're superior than them. We never said that. We don't really play that game. That's a bug in their ass that they have. That's their issue that they have with us, because when it comes to Black people, we are recognized as the face of blackness as foundational Black Americans, we're respected as Black people. We made blackness a global cultural thing. We did that. We made blackness something that's global culturally. We made it that. We made it a thing. And people recognize that. And then they're like, hey, wait a minute. I'm blacker than that, nigga. I am jet black. Respect me too. No, no, no. It doesn't work like that. You see. Oh, family, we got Dr. Barry in here. Okay. We got Dr. Okay, before I get Dr. I'm gonna get Robbie and Dr. Barry here at the same time. Because Dr. Barry is a mouthful. So Dr. Barry, hop on, and then I'm gonna have Rob join in. Dr. Barry, hop on. Dr. Barry, unmute your microphone. And Dr. Barry, I think he's Nigerian, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. Barry, unmute your microphone, sir.
Yeah, Tariq, how you doing?
I'm,
Missed you.
I'm good, sir. How are you? Now you are Nigerian, right?
Yeah.
No, just to double check. So what is on your mind, Dr. Barry?
My mind is telling me that whatever you've been saying all this time, I find you on the space so far, like 1 month now. You are not far from the truth, okay? And I want to use this opportunity to let you know, Tariq, and everyone here listening, that we have come to a time when we have to understand that everybody in Africa, in Nigeria, cannot be bad at the same time. Maybe we have a lot of bad Nigerians or Africans who live in the United States with the attitude of beefing their own fellow black people, like the FBA, Black Americans who help to build America today. Everyone can be the same, okay? I am calling on you and everyone to please, for the sake of unity, greatness of the African man, for the black race, to please stay low, let it be. Let's look for a way to be peaceful. Let's look for a way to be united with ourselves. We need to unite to build Africa. Like I always say, I don't trust anybody that is not black. My greatest love for anyone, I'm not a racist, but I love black people. I'm dying for every black American. I love black American people. When I come to your space and I go to Jordan's space and I hear you guys talk, the way you talk your English, you are always happy. You are always happy with each other. That is what I want for Africa. That is what I want for the unity of the black man. That is why I wrote that Black Age book that talks about the 54 countries in Africa. That's why I believe, and that's why I say, every black man has his origin in Africa. You could have your lineage in wherever country you find yourself today, by slavery or by birth or anything. But the major issue here is that we need to hang on in the peace agenda, in the unity agenda, because we need to stop all this hate. We need to stop all this comparison. We need to stop all this rabmarosing about Africa and look for a way to help Africa. If we help to rebuild Africa using Nigeria as a case study, American blacks, let me say black Americans or the ABA, will be free from what is going on now in the United States, where we have African Americans comparing themselves with the original black Americans who built America whatsoever. So please, Tariq, I'm begging you, please We need to stop now. We need to look for a way to build Nigeria, to build Africa. We need to find a way to enjoy life. You, Tariq, one day you come to Nigeria, I'll host you. You love Nigeria. The energy of the media about Nigeria is 80, 100, 80, 90% wrong. The information you have about Nigeria and Africa, it's wrong. And I know why they do this.
You play